Explore the dual branding genius of Zuckerberg, corporate and personal strategies redefined.
Should be thinking about is our corporate brand and our personal brand. But in this case, we're seeing that this split's happening between corporate brand and founder branding. So Meta, the corporate brand, is positioning themselves as the ultimate AI utility, right? And then Mark, the personal brand, is positioning himself as the visionary, the oracle, the architect of the future. So why split them? Okay, the reason why is because our brains process corporate brands and human brands in completely different ways. So let me explain, because when I always talk about the reptilian brain, the limbic brain, and people are like, okay, Maxine, what are you talking about? Well, let me explain. So the reptilian brain, we all have this as humans. This is the brainstem, the fight, flight, freeze. Okay, this is your oldest brain structure. It's that pure survival. It doesn't process language. It doesn't do logic. It responds to status, certainty, dominance, safety, and threats. Okay. So when Zuckerberg, he places himself in front of Meta's AI revolution as an individual. He's doing interviews, he's giving keynotes, he's using plain language, very relatable. He's signaling something to us. He's saying, follow me. I've got this. This is safe. This is the way. And that, it triggers certainty and dominance in the reptilian brain. And when we sense dominance along with safety, we are inclined to follow. Okay. And so that is what I'm seeing here. And then we have the limbic brain system, which is the emotional processing and the trust. That's where trust is built. Let's go one layer deeper into the limbic brain. Okay. This part of the brain, it doesn't think, it feels. It decides in like a millisecond. Do I trust this? Do I like this person? Is this for people like me? Okay. So when Zuckerberg speaks, I'm talking when he speaks, when Mark speaks, not Meta, it creates this emotional resonance, because humans, they trust humans. Humans don't necessarily trust corporations, right? Humans trust humans. And so here's the neuromarketing kicker here. The amygdala, your threat center, it gets activated with change. It's said that 85% of people resist change, and it's literally physiological, right? It's very hard. The threat center gets activated, but if a person explains the change calmly and confidently, the amygdala calms down, and then you feel safe, right? Then we have the neocortex, the logical language. The logic, it's like the logic, the language, and the framing. Okay, so here's where it gets cognitive. So our modern brain processes logic, data, language, and framing. But then you see Meta's messaging, which is what? AI will make advertising easier, cheaper, more effective. That speaks directly to this part of the brain. But the logic will only land once the emotions buy in.